What's up? What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel, Sports, Life and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Copper, YouTube's #1 couch detective, and I'm here for the news. Here yesterday, I covered a story of 4 North Carolina police officers who were shot and killed in the line of duty, and 4 others was injured. And you have to wonder and ask yourself, how in the hell did the North Carolina law enforcement let that happen? I wonder what formation were they using. How did they enter the home? What direction? Obviously, now you have different technology of ring cams and doorbell cams and different kind of cameras, and a lot of times people can see you coming now. But regardless of the fact, at the very least, in the bare minimum, you should have protection. There's no doubt about that. But there's another problem that's going on within law enforcement in the United States of America. United States of America law enforcement has a fitness problem, and I've talked about this in other videos. The fitness standard required for law enforcement officers in the United States is very, very poor. You have what you like to call a lot of donut eaters, and I'm saying that in a slight type of way, but I mean, I'm serious. A lot of these guys are completely out of shape, and they're not fit for the job. Now, if you have people who are out of shape and you have people not fit for a job, you say, well, how can 4 people be shot? If they entered the home, how I think they probably entered, in a straight line, and one of them was shot, I guarantee you all protocol, formations was broken, everything went out the window when the first man was shot. This is why you like to use SWAT teams. This is why SWAT teams usually use like Delta training and Ranger training and SEAL training, and use some of their tactics when it comes to entering homes. Because when somebody gets shot and go down, there's protocol and there's procedures that you're supposed to go through. But when you're not well trained and you're out of shape, all of that breaks down. That's why one man can cause so much mayhem. You can't have these out of shape police officers entering homes with assailants that they say they were entering because of a felony. A person who has a felony had an illegal firearm. So going in, they knew it could have been a possibility of a shoot. That's why they went in with so many officers. But for 8 people to get shot, you guys did a piss poor, terrible job. They're not going to talk about that on the news. But on Sports, Life and Politics TV, we're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to ask those tough questions. Let's take a look at the clip.
Today after 4 police officers were killed in the line of duty. They were serving a warrant at a home when they were met with gunfire. Now we're hearing from the neighbors whose house was used as a sniper's nest to take down the bad guys.
Law enforcement comes under attack. And armed officers run into the path of danger as gunfire erupts. Cops take cover in the deadly police shooting. 4 officers were killed while attempting to serve a warrant at this home in Charlotte. 4 other officers were wounded.
And they say officers. They don't say SWAT or some kind of tactical unit. That's very important when you're talking about just plain officers. A lot of these guys are not trained very well. I've watched so many videos of police officers in these type of situations, and they fail almost 90% of the time. Yes, they end up shooting them, but look how much manpower and how many people it took to take down one goddamn gunman. That lets you know that these people aren't as equipped. They have all the equipment, but the tactical training, the bravery that they say some of these. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some officers who are brave and they go into but some of these people ain't nowhere near as brave as you think, and some of these people are nowhere near as smart as they should be. And the training to me has become so poor, and the standard for fitness is basically at a 0. Even if you look at this picture here, there's some of these people in here that's in these. They're not in shape. You might see the 2 guys in front, the tactical guys. They might be a little bit, but all these people you see in the back, these people aren't in great shape.
Panicked neighbors posted live videos on social media as the frantic scene unfolded.
Oh man, oh no, no.
Here, an armored vehicle pulls up on a neighbor's lawn. SWAT team staged operations in people's front yard.
Sniper dude ready to take the shot.
And these 3
And let me say this about the inner city law enforcement sniper. Easiest job in America. Easiest job in America. Let me tell you this. Most people say that's the hardest job. No, the hardest job is when you're sniping in Afghanistan. When you're sniping somewhere where somebody can capture you and kill you and harm you and do, because they do real harm to snipers in the military when they catching the people. The American law enforcement sniper, 99.9% of the time when they bring those people out, they never have to fire a weapon. The SWAT team, that's totally different. But there's no easier job than the American regular police officer of one of these teams, a tactical team sniper. He sits out on the outside on somebody's roof or somebody's yard. I've seen it in real life, easy job. They never take the shot. They almost, I say 99.99999%. They never have to take a shot. So don't give me nothing about no snipers. I got more respect for the SWAT who got to take it full steam ahead of the people who going in there face first.
A team of snipers set up right inside their home. You can see them sprinting across the living room. Outside the home, nearly a dozen officers take their positions. As more gunfire erupts, the roommates take cover.
Shots were ringing left and right.
It just kept going, and then it kept going, and it just kept escalating.
It was at least 100 gunshots.
Yeah, it was a lot.
He says a sniper used their bedroom as a vantage point.
They used one of our bedrooms, set up a U.S. Marshal sniper.
Cops identified the shooter as Terry.
And yesterday I said, I wonder, was this a Negro? Sounds like a Negro. This turned out to be a Negro. And this nigga went out in a blaze of glory. He took 4 officers out and shot 4 more. He knew he was going to die when the shootout started, but he knew that, there was no turning back. There was no tomorrow. He was not surviving this gunfight. I don't give a damn if he surrendered. He was a dead man. He killed 4 police officers and 4 other, wounded 4 other. And to throw the cherry on top, it was 4 white men. He didn't even throw a Mexican in. He killed 4 white men, so you knew he was a dead man. So, but he was able to take out 4 officers. I mean, if you look at it as a deal, that's a bad deal for the police officers. 4 for 1, and really 8 for 1 because he shot 4 more. But this brother did some real damage. Let's see what his name is again.
Yeah, it was a lot.
He says a sniper used their bedroom as a vantage point.
They used one of our bedrooms, set up a U.S. Marshal sniper.
Cops identified the shooter as Terry Clark Hughes Jr., who was wanted for possession of a firearm. He was shot dead by police. Today, Charlotte's chief of police was brought to tears at the loss of life.
The last few days.
The other thing I noticed, I cover a lot of these stories, there's always a black police chief. They always throw the black police chief out there. I don't know, it's a lot of black police chiefs in the United States. And the police chiefs are usually one that have to take all the hits publicly or whatever happened. So, he's crying and shit, but you need to be crying. They need to be trying to figure out what the tactics that we use, how the hell it went so awry, and how we let so many officers die.
It's just been very tough. And knowing that you have families that are hurting right now.
Well, that brother went out in a blaze of glory, but those officers, you got to have better tactics. You got to have better tactics. You got to get a fitness standard in the police department. It's so poor. And obviously your strategy and your tactics are going head first. So somebody with a felony gun charge, and you got to use some kind of bulletproof shields. Obviously, I don't know. I know we all know that these officers wear bulletproof vests. That's standard and mandatory. But for 4 of them to get killed, I would love to know. I can't wait to see what kind of rifle he was using. Because whatever he was using, I'm thinking it's some high caliber shit. This wasn't no 5.56. This is like some 7.62 or some 308s. This was some high power shit he was using. There's no doubt in my mind. To wound 4 and kill 4, yeah, he was serious. And he killed those 4, I'm pretty sure. He's probably shot those 8 people pretty quickly. And it's got to be a high caliber weapon, because usually maybe you kill 1 or 2 and then the other 6 survive somehow, but he killed 4. Either he was deadly accurate. There's something in this story that's still missing. The caliber of the rifle, this guy was an ex-military, or he was trained in something's going on. There's something being left out that story. But we're going to move on to the next story. Navy doctor killed in SPD child sex trafficking crime. They had one of those stings where they set you up and make you think you supposed to meet some 13-year-old girl for tea and cookies, and come to find out somebody come busting out the door on your ass. Let's take a look at the clip.
Now, quick note, we are showing some of the video from this shooting. It's disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
In August of 2009, official U.S. military video shows the change of command ceremony for Navy Captain Bruce C. Manili, commander of the Joint Medical Group at Guantanamo Bay.
I think this is one of the best joint commands I've ever had the honor of working with.
On April 17, 2024, Seattle police greeted Manili inside this hotel in Tequila. Investigators say Manili came to the hotel to meet an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old girl, but...
Now, how horny and dumb can you be to think you for meet an 11-year-old at the Hilton? Do you know how sick and deprived and twisted and just a complete degenerate? What 11-year-old knows? What if they use their crayon credit card? What is going on? Wait a minute. Let's hear this again.
Inside this hotel in Tequila. Investigators say Manili came to the hotel to meet an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old girl, but...
11-year-old and 7-year-old at the Doubletree? Hilton? Come on, man. Come on, man. Thank God they caught this guy. But that go to show how sexually depraved and how horny these guys are and how much they want. He was willing to get set up to think he was meeting an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old at a Doubletree. You gotta be kidding me.
It was a part of a Seattle children's sex crime sting operation. Video from Seattle police shows Manili immediately pull a gun from inside of his coat as soon as the door opens. I dug into Manili's military service and criminal history. According to a military report, on top of commanding the medical group at Guantanamo, Manili also was the commander of the NATO Role 3 multinational medical unit at an airfield in Afghanistan in 2012. In 2016, Manili was quoted in a New York Times report on Guantanamo Bay. A year after the New York Times story, Manili was arrested in a prostitution sting out of Kitsap County. Probable cause documents I obtained say Manili went to a hotel expecting to have unprotected sex with a prostitute for a little more than $100. But just like last week's incident, this...
Wait a minute, let's read that. I want to read that.
Manili went to...
It said Manili said he stopped at an ATM on the way to withdraw $200. He also admitted that he agreed per Detective McDonald note for $110 for QV Bareback. So his nickname is really Captain Raw Dog. I asked what time they met. He said what that meant. He said no protection. Based on my training experience, I knew that was a vernacular for bareback or BB, the reference to a sexual intercourse without a condom. So he want to catch a disease. Oh, this is a real degenerate. He one of them people like to get spanked on the nuts.
Hotel expecting to have unprotected sex with a prostitute for a little more than $100. But just like last week's incident, this was a law enforcement sting. Documents say while in custody, Manili admitted to investigators that he had gotten away with paying a prostitute for sex within the last year and contacted several others, but claimed he never actually met them. Documents say he also admitted to detectives he had been arrested previously in Texas for the same crime. During the interview with detectives, Manili blamed his sex life with his wife for the reason he was trying to pay for sex.
So he was going from city to city looking for ass and titties. Unbelievable.
Seattle police tell me they're investigating the deadly shooting from last week, but have no new information to release. A military official tells me they're working to get more details on Manili's role in the Navy.
Internet sex crimes against children are becoming an insidious problem for the state of Washington. Investigators tell me some of the biggest reasons are due to COVID and new technologies. Seattle police report in 2023 there was a 76% increase in cases of child enticement. Reporting in Tequila, I'm AJ Janovo, Fox 13 News.
And I talk about this all the time on videos. I always talk about how black people, we have a lot of problems in our community. And there's a lot of things we need to fix and we need to work on. And I'm not saying there's no degenerates in our race, because there are. But in the white race, they have a huge opioid, methamphetamine, child pedophilia crisis. And they tell you the numbers are growing exponentially. It's getting out of control. They basically said it's out of control in Washington and Oregon. So if you're a small kitty, you might want to get the hell out of there. I mean, that ain't a place for a kitty. They tearing kitties' ass up around that area. But that's across the nation, especially in these rural areas, major cities. It doesn't matter. The white man is looking for sweet ass, and he don't care about the age. And I don't mean to be disrespectful, because I know it ain't all white men, it ain't all white people. But within their race, they have a huge problem with that shit, and it's growing out of control. Let's look at this next clip. Texas legal battle over Title IX protections. Now, Title IX protections is for, I think, transgenders and bathroom use and all those type of things. And, you know, when kids are a certain age, you at school talking about gender and all that stuff, we need to be teaching math, science, the type of stuff that's moving technology forward like they doing over in China. We over here telling the kids that the boy can be a girl and the girl can be a boy. And if that's what they into, I guess that's what it is, but it doesn't seem like it's helpful to us. It seems like we're just getting to a point where we're just chasing our own tail, doing random things for no reason. But we know there is a agenda. There's no doubt about that. Let's take a look at this clip.
Now is in the middle of a legal fight over Title IX protection. So today, Governor Greg Abbott says he wants the Texas Education Agency to ignore Biden administration changes to the federal law. Let's walk you through it. Title IX protects against sex discrimination in education programs that get money from the federal government. So earlier this month, the Biden administration announced some revisions that now include making it illegal to discriminate based on sexual orientation, gender identity, and sex characteristics, all hot topics that have been addressed here in Texas.
And why would that be an issue in an elementary school? Kids don't even know who they are yet. All you know is I'm a boy and one's a girl, and that's all they should know. What is all this extra? And you can see that was the elementary class they was in. Why is this even in elementary schools is the bigger question. Now, we understand by the time people get to high school, yes, there are people who are more sexually active and more worried about those type of things. But in elementary, this is absurd.
Governor Greg Abbott is telling the TEA, ignore those changes. Attorney General Ken Paxton, we understand, is also suing to try and stop the expanded federal law from taking place. Paxton's office says schools could lose that federal money if transgender students are not allowed to use the restroom associated with their gender identity. Meantime, the new rules are expected to start August 1st, but again, this legal battle could put that in jeopardy as far as the expansion goes. It also has protections that would ban discrimination against students who are pregnant, terminating a pregnancy, or recovering from a pregnancy.
What that has to do with that, I don't know. But this whole thing over the restroom, that's cool. But I do have a solution for that the bathroom situation being gender neutral. Is there a problem with the bathroom being gender neutral? Absolutely not. But you can implement a new rule, one kid at a time. That's how you handle that shit. Hey, we're not going to let 9 kids in there at once. You're not going in there with your little penis, with this girl's vagina. That's been the problem with the adult situation. Now, if you was look, I don't think people would have a problem if you was a transgender and you actually had the surgery and got your penis removed and you really embraced everything about being a woman and you want to go to a woman's bathroom, cool. But you're not going in there with your willy hanging out. No. People are cool on that. There has to be some kind of, you gotta meet people in the middle somewhere. You can't have it your way the whole way and only your way. Let's take a look at this next clip, you guys. We have a $1.3 billion jackpot winner. We have a man who's won the Powerball. Now, am I a little jealous? You damn skippy. We all are. We all wish we could win that goddamn Powerball. Let's take a look at this clip.
Powerball revealed the winners of the $1.3 billion ticket drawn earlier this month in Oregon. It's the 4th largest jackpot in Powerball history. CBS's Carter Evans has the remarkable story of one of the winners.
For Charlie Sapon, who came to America from Laos, winning the massive Powerball jackpot.
Wait a minute. This is not even a real American citizen? Hey, man, I'm going to start hating. You should have to go 2 generations back. At least have your mother and your grandmother here before you come over here and win the goddamn Powerball. This man standing up here looking like he having a stroke. That's bullshit. I do not think for 1 second you should be able to win the Powerball when you'd moved over here from Laos. I'm sorry. Hell to the no. No. Let me say this also. A lot of these people who hit this Powerball, we've seen a lot of these things about lottery nightmares, and people get this money and shit goes awry. They become major drugs addicts, or they spend all the money out wisely, and they just start going on wild spending sprees. I've seen a bunch of those little documentaries.
Was heaven sent.
So God picked for me. Thank you.
He's been living on disability, undergoing cancer treatment for the last 8 years.
I still haven't kept.
He got cancer. Hey, man. Hey, he won't make it through the year. This man that won a $1.3 billion Powerball jackpot. There's no way. The wolves, vultures, lions, cat, dogs, monkeys is circling him. He won't make it through the year. I promise you that. He already got cancer. Hey, they already got an alibi. Somebody's going to take him out. I ain't saying I wish it. I'm saying, come on now. He already got cancer and his lip is twisted. Look like a small stroke is kicking in. Come on now.
Therapy. I pray to the God, need some help. Now I can rest my family and find a good doctor for myself.
As a lump sum, the payout after taxes is $422 million, which upon it.
Wait a minute. He won $1.3 billion. The payout is $422 million. The taxes is $900 million. Wow, Uncle Sam. I know, people said 200 million. I'm tripping off the tax element. $900 million that's the tax on the Powerball? That's outrageous. I'm just saying if I'm doing the math, man. Yeah, that's almost not like 800 and something million, almost 800 and something $1 million. Damn, the taxes are ridiculous. That's crazy.
Wife split with a family friend.
I cannot win it. I can win it. But I didn't think I gonna win this big.
For a lot of winners, the reward comes with risk. Some end up broke within a few years. Others get in trouble with taxes or go on lavish spending sprees, like Edwin Castro. After winning his $2 billion jackpot, the largest ever, he's spending big.
Oh, that's the house I want. Look at that house. That shit was beautiful, wasn't it? Well, let's look at that house again.
Taxes or go on lavish spending sprees, like Edwin Castro. After winning his $2 billion jackpot, the largest ever.
Look at that house. That is beautiful. That's one thing. Like white people, they have these homes like this. They don't have no curtains and shit. They don't have no. I don't like all that see-through glass. You got people like my partner Earl Weasel. They can look right in there with them drones and shit. And obviously, this is a drone shot. I don't like the lack of privacy. I guess you can get. They do have those magic windows now. They run some kind of electrical current through them, and they can hit a button and the shit it goes from transparent to where you can't see through the shit no more. I would most definitely have to have all those type of windows. But look at that beautiful mansion right there. That is glorious.
He's spending big, including this $25 million Hollywood Hills mansion. As for Stepan, the financial strain is now replaced by peace of mind.
I'm in the middle of the battling cancer, so I'm thinking, how am I gonna have time to spend all of this money?
You won't.
Now the vetting process to confirm the lotto winner includes checking.
Look at Carter Evans. Carter Evans, if he hit the lottery, he hit that the first thing he gonna buy is a top lip. Look at his razor blade sharp top. He ain't got no top lip. My God. I seen more lips on a chicken. Unbelievable.
Store security video to match the buyer with the person who turned in the ticket. The biggest holdup on this one? Lottery officials say it took 3 weeks to collect all the money for the payout.
Okay, there you go. Carter Evans, thank you so much.
No lip, Carter Evans. Unbelievable. But we got one last clip of the day, which is these tourists injured by bison. Now, I done made several videos on when animals attack white people. Because usually this shit happens and white people are the ones who are ran over by the buffalo, jumped on by the mountain lion, slapped by the cheetah, kicked in the ass by the giraffe, and all that old shit. And I always ask this question. Do white people hate animals? The answer is no. Do animals hate white people? The answer is no. But do white people respect animals? And the answer is hell no. Let's take a look at this clip. Hold on, let me see.
We come in the air with our
our live broadcast at 6 o'clock, officials arrest an Idaho Falls man for reportedly harassing bison in Yellowstone National Park.
Hey, I've heard of sexual harassment. I heard of workplace harassment. I've heard of one student harassing another student. But I ain't never heard of a motherfucker harassing a buffalo. Unbelievable.
Kicking a bison in the leg.
You kick a bison in the leg, whatever happens to you, you most definitely deserve it. Let's hear it again.
At 6 o'clock, officials arrest an Idaho Falls man for reportedly harassing bison in Yellowstone National Park and kicking a bison in the leg. It happened here on April 20.
That man is out there kicking bison and slapping wolves. Oh, God. His punishment should be put on a pork chop suit and run 10 miles across Yellowstone. If he makes it, cool. If he don't, you get what you deserved.
First, near the 7-mile bridge just east of the park's west entrance, officials arrested 40-year-old Clarence Yoder, who was injured in the bison encounter. He is charged with reportedly being under the influence of alcohol, disorderly conduct, and approaching and disturbing wildlife. Officials also arrested the driver, 37-year-old McKenna Bass of Idaho.
So he had a friend with him. So they went out there buffalo tip. I've heard of cow tipping. They went out there buffalo tipping and fucking wolf kicking. What the hell is going on out here? Who the hell goes buffalo tipping? Well, you trying to, man.
Bass faces several charges, including DUI. Both pleaded not guilty to the charges. The incident remains under investigation. Visitors are reminded to protect wildlife and respect safety regulations.
Why would you have to tell somebody that with an 800-pound animal who's been known and mauling and breaking bones and killing folks? But usually these buffalo, 99.99% of the time, they're minding their own business. But people want to walk right up on them and act like it's some kind of small fucking dog. They said a tourist was injured. Was this the same man who was injured by the buffalo? Let's take a look.
A visitor from Idaho approached a bison too closely on April 21st in Yellowstone National Park and was injured by the bison. It happened on the West Entrance Road near the 7-mile bridge, about 7 miles east of the park's west entrance. Rangers responded to the area after receiving a report of a person who harassed a herd of bison and kicked a bison in the leg. We found
that was the same guy. Kicked the bison in the leg.
Suspect's vehicle near the west entrance and stopped it in the town of West Yellowstone. Clarence Yoder was arrested and charged with being under the influence of alcohol to a degree that may endanger oneself, disorderly conduct as to create or maintain a hazardous condition, approaching wildlife, and disturbing wildlife. The driver of the vehicle, McKenna Bass of Idaho, was also arrested and cited for driving under the influence, interference or failure to yield to emergency light activation, and disturbing wildlife. Yoder sustained minor injuries from the encounter with the bison. Rangers took Yoder to a medical facility where he was treated and released. He was then taken to the Gallatin County Detention Center in Bozeman. Yoder and Bass appeared in court on April 22nd and pleaded not guilty to the charges.
Hey, man. Anytime you go buffalo tipping and cow and wolf slapping, you deserve whatever you get. I wish he would have broke him to pieces. That would have made my goddamn day. But I just want to go over those clips, you guys. This has been Sports, Life and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Coppo, YouTube's #1 couch detective. I'm here for the news. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I just took your ass on a buffalo tipping, wolf slapping ride. Peace.